The Post-it Podcast is brought to you by Dominion Real Estate, SEMA Business Consultants, Instant Balloon Stands, Farmers Insurance by Imelda Gonzalez, and South Texas Pressure Cleaning.
Welcome back to another episode of the Post-it Podcast. I'm Cassandra Romero.
And I'm Brianna Alvarez.
And today we're joined with Mr. Carlos Garcia. Mr. Garcia is the PSJA ISD College Transition Director here at PSJA ISD. So he works with all of our Go Centers, and he's also a PSJA alum. Welcome. We're so glad to have you on.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you, ladies, for having me. I'm super excited. Huge fan.
Thank you.
Okay, so a lot of people are a little bit confused. A lot of people are confused about your job as a college transition director. So if you want to expand on that, like, what does your job entail?
Yes, so I am the college transition director for PSJA ISD. So we have financial aid officers in our team, which are in your Go Center. So your Go Centers, you might know that at every single high school, including our CCTA, program, we have these people in there that are helping our students with financial aid applications, scholarship applications, everything related to your post-secondary, goals. So we have our financial aid officers. We also have Advice Texas. They're mentors that are in the Go Centers assisting our financial aid officers. And we also have our Gear Up counselors at Memorial in Southwest. And we have our specialists, our college transition specialists that help our students after they graduate, giving them the same services and resources that we give our underclassmen.
And so tell us what a Go Center essentially is. As a senior, I'm in there all the time, when I have free periods and things like that, trying to be productive. So explain to the audience, I guess, what is a Go Center? So
our Go Centers are like a one-stop shop, right? So that's where you work on your scholarship applications, your, like I mentioned, your financial aid, your college applications, your resumes. We guide you through the process. We understand that a lot of our students are first-generation, college students. So a lot of support. We take you by the hand, we guide you, and until we kind of help you make that choice, of where is it that you want to, where you want to go.
Definitely, yeah, and I mean, Ms. Reyes and Ms. Velasco, the Ms. Reyes is a financial aid assistant, and then Ms. Velasco is her kind of assistant. Yes, and so they work really well with us students and ensuring that we're completing all of those deadlines, meeting those deadlines and completing all the work and those graduation requirements that we need to have, right, to graduate. Yeah, because that's the goal at the end of the day. Right. So how did you get to become the college transition director here at PSJA?
So I started at UTRGV or UTPA.
What it was
back then. But I started as the scholarship coordinator. And so I would oversee over 300 scholarships at the time.
Oh, wow.
I was going for a master's in mechanical engineering, but then, they told me if I wanted to maybe try teaching. And I said, you know what? I've always wanted to teach, I had a really awesome 7th grade math teacher. So I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And I kind of stayed in education, right? In education, I started seeing, I started working with early college, and this opportunity came about as a specialist, a college transition specialist, and I started, right? And when I started helping alumni with college applications, FAFSA, scholarships, all the things that I used to do before, and I really, I fell in love with it, right? And little by little, right, the opportunity came up, and I became a director later on.
Wow. I like how you mentioned how you're 7th grade math teacher, because I feel like we all sort of have that one teacher that kind of pushes us in one direction and inspires us
exactly
to sort of pursue something else. So that must have been sort of like an unconventional move on your part, but a part that has obviously impacted your life so much.
And now you're here, right?
And now you're here helping so many students in the whole PSJA ISD district. So how has pursuing a post-secondary education impacted your life, and how could that impact the life of other students as well?
I think with us, right, with myself and my brothers, is my parents, right? All the hard work they did. They never went to school. They never went to high school, right? So it's them telling us that the only option there was education, right? And to get my degree, and then to push my brothers to get their degree. And some of them are teachers. One of them was an AP. And me now a director. I don't know of anything else, right? But I just know that education changed our lives, and it's going to change our generation.
Definitely. 100%.
I think a lot of us do feel that here because a lot of us are either first generation or low income. So the only way to even get out or seek out other opportunities, it's, through education and making sure we have those resources like that you provide here at the district in order and able to pursue that education in the future.
Yes. Yeah. And so tell us about those opportunities that are available from our district to those students that are first gen or low income, because that's a lot of our population. So what are some opportunities, maybe scholarships and things like that, that might not be merit based and might just be for our first gen students?
Yeah, there's a lot of money that is on the table, and we ask and the students to really apply. A lot of our students, when we're talking to them, they say, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to apply, right? But we've had a lot of cases where we'll get scholarship donors tell us, like, can you just have the students apply, please? There's so much money we want to give out, right? So we encourage the students to apply. We've had, for example, I'll give you an example. We had a student that was applying for every single scholarship, right? And he was applying for a Latina scholarship and an African American scholarship. And he's not a Latina and he's not African American. So he just said, I'm just applying for everything, right? So then he comes back to us and he's like, well, guess what? I got the Latina and I got the African
No way.
So
it just goes to show. Oh, wait, yes.
No, yes, it happens. It happens. So just, do as many as you can. A lot of times the money's just sitting there and people are not really, trying to get it. So
it just goes to show that a lot of scholarships, I mean, they're available, but a lot of people aren't willing to apply themselves because they don't think they deserve the money or because they think it's so competitive that they might not get it.
Or like even the work. Like I hear a lot of my peers saying like, I have to write an essay. And it's like, no, like just do it because you never know if you're going to get the money. Like I've gotten so many scholarships, like maybe not like actually gotten them, right? But like advanced just by doing the application and submitting it. And then you don't know what's going to come if you don't try, And
99% of the time, you've already worked on an essay, and all you need to do is tweak it.
Exactly.
Reuse it for the same prompt.
No, I literally have a Google Doc that has over probably 14,000 words, and it's just every scholarship question, I copy paste it on there, and then I'll copy paste some of my responses and then tweak them a bit so that it caters to the question.
To the scholarship,
exactly, yeah. And it's very convenient to do that. At the end of the day, then I'm not stressing. And I honestly thought it was going to be a lot more work, but having that document and just being prepared and having those questions and those responses is way easier. So yes.
Yes. And speaking of scholarship opportunities, I know here at PSJA, they offer any really specific scholarships for students just within our district that some seniors may not even know about. So can you sort of expand on that?
Yes. So we have, of course, our foundation, right? That's a big one. So that's for our PSJA students. That one, they're still working on it right now, and they're choosing, the recipients. But we have right now going on our local scholarships, right? So these are scholarships that our financial aid officers, our Advice Texas mentors, they go out into the community and they go and ask for, for these different businesses, would you like to donate, for a scholarship for a senior? Anything helps really. And we ask the community, if you've graduated from any of the PSJ high schools and you want to give back, please, come back and $200, $100, it helps, right? We have transportation, people that need transportation money. We need books, right? Books are way expensive, right? So we have a lot of scholarships right now going on. There's still the scholarship season is still open, so we encourage everybody to still visit the Go Center, ask your financial aid officer. Just like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of money on the table, and a lot of times it just stays there. Right? So we want everybody to take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. And Ms. Reyes and Ms. Velasco do a good job of keeping us updated, and I'm sure every other Go Center advisor, and the Google Classroom, they'll upload every scholarship that's due, and then they'll have that list, okay, all of them for February. So what I do is I have a journal, and then I'll list them all, and then I'll put the due date, and then on my calendar, on my agenda, I'll
put it in
because then I get overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, wait, no, I forgot this, and then I forgot that, and it gets hectic. I mean, it's already hectic as it is, right? Senior year, all the things you have to do, but then with the scholarships that I'm trying to, anything helps at the end of the day, right? $500, $1,000,
honestly. And I've heard that a lot of scholarships, they just end up sort of getting thrown in the trash, or not get thrown in the trash, but the money, as you said, it just stays on the table because a lot of people, they are not applying to them.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if there's only 1 or 2 kids for a scholarship that's meant for, I guess, like 20 people, it's only those 2 kids that end up getting all the money.
And all that is free money, right? So we love free money, especially for college students. So try and apply to as many as you can. That'll save you a lot of time, a lot of pressure while you're in school. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about getting a job. So, definitely take advantage of applying to all of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, earlier you mentioned the PSJA alumni, right? So tell us about that, the networking that you all do, maybe how you all work with them, people who graduated from here or any other PSJA school.
Yes, so we have our college transition specialist. It's kind of like your financial aid officer and counselor, but even after high school. So we're blessed here at PSJA ISD to still, follow you guys,
give us that support system,
right? Support you when you leave. If it is that you want to leave, right, the region or maybe the state. We've had students in the past, go to Michigan and say, I need help with advising, I need help with my financial aid. We'll do it through the phone, we'll do it through Zoom. We have actually here specialists or counselors that are housed at UTRGV. If your choice is to stay here at UTRGV, we have somebody there, Mr. Alonso Garcia, that's at UTRGV, giving you the extra support, the extra services, right, that UTRGV has to offer. The same thing with STC. We have Ms. Carrillo, Ms. Martinez, and Ms. Molina that are here to support our students that are wanting to stay here at STC.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that even after I graduate from PSJ, like if I need help, because sometimes at college it can be kind of overwhelming because there's so many students. So even talking to the college advisor, it's kind of you're on your own. You're on your own and you have to figure that out. But being able to know that even after I graduate and even after I leave, like if I need help with anything regarding my academics in college, I can just sort of rely back on my district and sort of contact the people here.
Yeah.
And you still have the same, you can go through your UTRGV advisor, you can go through your Texas A&M advisor. We're just an added layer of support, right? So you can always come back to us and this is what I was told, what do you think? And then we can just go from there. So,
definitely.
We're here
The
always.
PSJA family.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And so I know that as senior year's approaching and as a bunch of seniors are kind of rushing to the Go Centers to kind of, because I know there's a senior checklist that you guys need to do. And so there's a bunch of requirements. So why is it so important to take advantage of some of the resources and complete some of those graduation requirements before you leave here and go on to college?
Yeah, a lot of it is that financial aid, right? Financial aid and college application. I always tell the students, financial aid is like if I have $1,000 and I'm going to give it out, right? And everybody get in line. So the sooner you get in line, the more probability or you have of getting more money, right? So the same thing. We want you to apply early so you can get the offers early so you can sit down, sit with your family, with your counselor, financial aid officer, look at your offers and see what you're going to need to do. There's some schools that offer you a lot. There's some that not. You got to look into your major, who's offering my major. So all of these things, we ask you guys to take advantage and do it early so you can get all this done even before you get into the prom season. And
because then it gets even more hectic.
The DLACH, all that stuff that's coming up. You guys get super busy, so we understand finals are coming up, so do it early so you don't have to worry about all of that.
And so what other graduation requirements like the scholarship applications?
Even like TSIs, because I know a lot of people, and I feel like it's really important to push this out to our audience or people listening, that they don't know that the TSIs right now they're free. I took them for free. Cassie took them for free. A lot of us take them for free. But once you leave, you have to pay for it. So why is it important to just continue to do it here?
So one is the money, right? You don't want to be stuck, after high school having to pay, over $70, right, for the test. So that's one. And then two, it helps you. So you don't have to take any remedial courses, right? So let's say, for example, you haven't passed the math and you go to college, right? You even have to do like a TSI summer program so you can qualify and, go into your college algebra. Or if you choose to stay local at STC, you have to go through the remedial classes, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it'll take time.
It's a bigger
right?
hassle.
So
Time consuming, more time
If you can get it
consuming.
over with and you can go right straight into your regular classes, you're saving time, you're saving money.
Exactly.
Well, like we mentioned, you're the college transition director, so you oversee all of our Go Centers. Tell us how it is managing all of the Go Centers. I believe there's 7, right, at PSJA ISD. Tell us about that.
I mean, it's crazy, and we love it, right? Because there's so much going on, and we have a great team, and we communicate all the time.
Definitely.
We're always on team. We're always meeting. We're kind of sharing what's working for some students, what's not working for the others. If we find out a scholarship, right, we're always telling each other, posting on social media.
Yes.
So
Sharing
it's-
the resources.
Exactly, because we're all in the same boat, right? We all help each other, and we just have an amazing team, and we're blessed.
Yes.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yes, I know, like, my Go Center advisor, like, she's always, like, on the phone, like, hey, is there any scholarships for my students that we can apply to, calling, T-STEM advisor and things like that. So I think those connections, we really see that in the Go Center, and
And
I'm
the
sure
sense
you'll
of
see it next year.
community,
Yeah.
And I know that since we are a first generation, like, I guess, low income area where these resources are already needed, I understand that a lot of the parents don't understand that, or they don't understand the college process,
Or the
the
importance
FAFSA,
and the-
or
yes,
the financial
how all
aid.
that works,
So
exactly.
how do you guys stress or push the importance to the parents that these resources are important, that their kids should be applying
A
themselves?
lot of it is parent meetings and our amazing parent engagement program, right?
Oh.
So we go through them, we let them know of all these opportunities, and a lot of times I think it's just that stigma, right? Like college, I'm gonna have to like pay something,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of us first gens, right? A lot of us that are low income.
That's the biggest burden.
Yeah, that we get a lot of, grants, right? So, some parents tell me, well, I know we're not gonna qualify because, my neighbor says that they don't qualify, right? And it's like, everybody's different, right? Everybody's a different scenario, so the application is free, that's why it's called, the free, financial aid application. But, visit your Go Centers, apply, it doesn't hurt you anything. You don't have to pay. If they ask you to pay, then that's a red flag, right? Because nobody should be asking you
Yeah.
for money for free money.
Yeah.
So then, we encourage your parents, you to ask questions, come and visit us so we can kind of sit down with you, more one-on-one and explain to you the process. But we put a lot of information out there on social media.
Yeah.
So we encourage our parents to follow PSJA ISD, so they can stay in the loop, with
Yeah.
everything that's going on.
And so how important is that communication with the parents? Those first gen parents, or even parents that might be thinking like, oh, well, like, yes, my student applied to FAFSA, but they're not going to get any money because of financial circumstances that, they might be a little well off and things like that.
No, I mean, that's huge. And we're available, for parents. I know we're in school, right? We're open 8 to 5, but then we'll stay, longer, different days. When it's open house, we'll be here. Even Saturdays, right? The next FAFSA Saturday,
Yes.
it's coming up March 23rd. So if the parents can't make it during the week, they can definitely, see us. If they want for us to wait for them, maybe after hours,
Yeah.
we can also do that
Oh.
and guide them through the process.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's good to know.
That's really
yes.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And since working at PSJA ISD, PSJA ISD is a very special district because we're not a fully AP or IB program. We sort of integrate that with being an early college high schools across the board, where a lot of our students graduate with associates and certificates and even core complete, to sort of aid them and give them that foundation for when
That
they
head start,
graduate.
yeah.
So how does working at an early college district, how does that shape the way you work?
It makes it so much easier for the students in a way that, one, you're exposed early on, right, to what the rigor
Yeah.
that comes with those, college classes. We see you guys taking, classes like 4 or 5 classes a semester.
Yeah.
You're not really a high school student. You're a college student, right? So that exposure, that taking them on early and really getting your associates a lot of times, and saving 2 years and a lot of time, you know what I mean? So it definitely, helps. That's what makes us different. And, I want you guys to know that a lot of times when you guys go off, the area into your different colleges, not everybody's blessed, not even in the state, to
Yeah.
have early college high schools like we do. So great opportunities happening at PSJ.
Yeah, definitely. And it gives us a head start, right, on our career and our future. That's
It's
the
also-
common saying here, but also it's free.
Yes.
It's
And
free
that's
to
like Bree has
anyone, yeah.
mentioned multiple times, like, we come from first generation low income, and
So
like the majority of our population, right? And so that just aids those families that are struggling, financially and
and
things
to
like
get
that.
that jump start. And also, I feel like it's kind of instilled in me that sort of, okay, I need to be checking, like, I'm responsible for my coursework. I don't have to rely on my teachers to be emailing to do my work. That, okay, these are professors. I need to be on top of my stuff. I need to check in with them if I have any inquiries about anything. So I guess it's instilled in me that sort of college mindset that a lot of students should be having in order to prepare them for their future.
And it gives you like
awesome.
that responsibility for yourself.
That self-gratification. Yeah.
Yes. And so tell us, what's something, I'm a senior, right? Bree's going to be an incoming senior.
Yes, next year.
Yes. So tell us, what's something that you wish you knew as a senior in high school?
I think maybe going out into the community more. The community gives us so much.
Yeah.
Doing all those volunteering hours, so you can start getting to know, these people's out in the business. Now we have a lot of PSJA alumni giving back to the community. So maybe start reaching out to them if you're interested in law, right? Check with some of our, alumni that are already practicing law, or they have the law firms here, right? So I think that's what I would definitely do. Go back and maybe start asking for to do shadowing or to do
those
internships.
internships,
Shadowing.
definitely.
And I ask you guys, right, when you become famous and when you become successful, to always come back.
Yes,
and
of
give
course,
back.
and
Definitely.
that's something I definitely want to do. I want to leave the valley, experience something else for college, those 4 years, but I definitely want to come back and
give back.
Yeah,
to what
whether I live here or not, I want to definitely give back to anyone. Because it's so weird to think. It's crazy to think about. Like, I was a little girl once, and maybe like I passed them by, in the graduation walk that we do across the elementaries and the middle schools, and they're gonna remember me. They might remember me, and that's just so amazing to think about. Yeah,
in order to be able, to go away and then maybe even come back to inspire somebody else to do the same thing that you did.
Definitely.
And when we say give back, right, like it's not always about money. It's coming to give your time to do
Experiences, talking.
speeches, to our students to kind of motivate them. And hey, I was in your shoes, right? Like you can do it too. So
Yeah.
definitely think about that.
So you've been working at the district for a very long time as the college transition director. So what has been like your favorite memory as your college transition director?
I mean, it's still today. I think it happens every time because we help students and parents all the time. It's just changing lives and
Yeah, definitely.
more than that, right? Changing generations. If one of my students can go to college, then you start thinking differently, right? Once you have your family, you have your kids, you start thinking, if I went to college, then you should go to college too,
Exactly.
right? So we start changing that mindset, right? So that for me, I get to see that almost every day, and I never get tired of it. I love it. I love what we do, and like I said, I love the team that we have. They're as passionate as I am.
Yes, and so you've mentioned college, and we've talked a lot about college, but what about those students that are not really interested in the college path, or maybe they don't think it's for them and are wanting to go into the military path? So what are some opportunities available to them, or how do you all help them?
Yeah, so we do through our small fairs, like college fairs. We're about to have one in March as well, and we're inviting the underclassmen. We bring in different colleges, but we also bring in some of the recruiters, right? So they can start asking those questions. They have a lot of great opportunities, right? We understand that maybe college is not for everyone, so we want to offer, the career aspect and also the military. So, like I said, making that connection, giving the students that resource, so they can get in contact with those recruiters, start planning that.
Yeah, so everyone kind of has a feel
A
for what they're going to
resource,
do for their future, right? And after college,
I think that's-
graduation.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that not only you guys provide the resources, or sort of, because the resources are available to us, but sometimes it's hard to go out of our way in order to, get the resources. So it's awesome that, the Go Center and you yourself are able, to just plan it all out and be like, here, guys, this is what's available. Look at it and apply to it and see what fits you personally.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And so lastly, we want to ask you, what makes working at PSJA ISD so special? You work with all of our high schools with Go Centers. You work with everyone. How is that special to you?
I mean, I graduated from PSJA, right? But just when we say PSJA family, we really mean it, right?
Definitely.
We take care of each other, and we're blessed, with our administration team, with Dr. Elias, right? They
Yes.
really like to take care of us. And I have my kids here in PSJA as well, so it is kind of like a legacy.
PSJA family,
Yes.
generational.
Yes.
So, we're blessed. I'm telling you, I talk to different districts. They wish they had the same opportunities, the same programs that we do. And we're really, we're really out there, and people know who we are. And when they see PSJA, they kind of go like, that's
because we had people from up north, from other
Yeah,
states,
I think
come
it
down
was
here
Indiana
to come look at our early college programs and our facilities and stuff. So I think that's a pretty big accolade to be able to say, people are looking at us as an inspiration to how to shape their education systems.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to get to know you a little bit more and get to know about the opportunities, more of the opportunities that PSJA has to offer for all of our students.
We were so excited to have you on.
guys.
I can't wait to see more of you next year.
Yes,
I'm gonna go viral, right? I'm
Ooh,
going
yes, viral, hitting the charts. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of the Posted Podcast. Thank you again, Mr.
Thank you.
Garcia.
Thank you,
Make sure to join us next time. And remember, go Bears.
This Posted Podcast was brought to you by Dominion Real Estate, SEMA Business Consultants, Instant Balloon Stands, Farmers Insurance by Imelda Gonzalez, and South Texas Pressure Cleaning.